What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another one of my videos. The season starts tonight. Liverpool playing Bournemouth. The Premier League is back on finally after a few months off. No, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, this is clearly another last-minute video, so different season, same old, same old. But yeah, last-minute video. So this is going to be my team selection then for game week 1. Now, obviously, it's not all set in stone. There is still a couple of positions I have got, up for grabs still, but this is how my team is looking so far. And as you can see already, the goalkeepers is very different probably to what other people have. So I've got Jordan Pickford in goal at 5.5 and Hermansen at 4.5 at West Ham. So that is 10 million on my goalkeepers already. So it is a bit expensive. I know a lot of people have got the Bradker in at 4 million at Burnley, but honestly, I don't trust Scott Parker. I never did all right in the Championship last season, but I don't trust him at all. Every time he's been in the Premier League, he has been crap, basically. So anyway, I've got Jordan Pickford in. He's got Leeds away first game of the season, and it's Brighton, Wolves, and Aston Villa. I like David Moyes as manager. I think they're going to do pretty well. New stadium as well for Everton, so I think they're going to get off to a good start to the season. So that's why I've got him in goal. And Hermansen, I've gone for him because he's not actually a bad goalkeeper. He was quality at Leicester, in all fairness. He's now at West Ham. I think he'll be their new number one goalkeeper. Their fixtures are not exactly the worst. Well, not the best either, but he will be more my backup goalkeeper. So I could change that to Dubravka, but I have no feeling towards that. So if anything, in terms of my goalkeepers, this is what it could possibly stay as. Obviously, Sanchez is another option of Chelsea, but I just reckon Chelsea are going to sell him or buy somebody else by the end of the window. It's Chelsea, for God's sake. So I'm not feeling it, and I'm going to spoil it now. I've already got 3 Chelsea players in my team, so I'm not too fussed about having Sanchez in, so that is why I've gone for Pickford and Hermansen as my goalkeepers. Onto my back line then. First up on here, I have got Reece James in my team. Now, I know this guy is very much injury prone. I know he probably comes off early as well for Gusto. So there are a lot of problems with him. But I do like the fixtures for Chelsea. This is why I've gone for Reece James instead of Sanchez. I'm really hoping Reece James comes back as the old Reece James. That would be amazing. That's what we need. It'll just be phenomenal. It's 5.5 million. So he is actually more expensive than I thought it would be coming into the season. I thought it would be only 5 million, but he has gone up to 5.5 million. But the start of the season, these fixtures, in my opinion, because I've changed the difficulty in these fixtures, it's quite a nice one. Crystal Palace, I think they'll beat Palace at home. I think they'll beat West Ham away. Fulham away at home, sorry. I think they'll win that. And Brentford away, first 4 games. I can see Chelsea winning all 4 of these games at the start of the season. So that's why I wanted at least one Chelsea defender in my team. Cucurella was a possible option. He's obviously a bit more expensive. And like I said, you could have gone for Sanchez. But I've got a feeling Chelsea might buy a goalkeeper. So I don't really want that as like a problem for me. So I've got Reece James in there. Virgil van Dijk. I've gone for Van Dijk. Obviously, got the rule changes now, so there's a good chance he's going to get a load more points. He's got a difficult start to the season, in all fairness. Brighton are not exactly the easiest team to beat, although they have sold their defence, so I do think they'll win Liverpool. But then Newcastle away, is that a tough one? I don't know. As this transfer window and turmoil really affects them at the start of the season, we'll find out. And then at Arsenal, game week 3, they're not exactly the easiest fixtures, but don't be surprised if I see Liverpool 7 points after 3 games. I think the Arsenal game could be a draw, but the fact that it is at home, look, I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool win that game. And then obviously after that, the likes of Burnley in game week 4. So that is why, you've got to have a Liverpool defender. Frimpong was in my original draft when I first came up with my team. He scored obviously in the Community Shield game, but look, Virgil's going to start week in, week out. That's the reason why I've gone for him. And obviously, like I said, I've got Van der Ven as my 3rd defender here at this moment in time. But that might change. Pedro Porro is on my mind. Obviously, the Super Cup happened the other night, and Porro looked very good in that game. I know Van der Ven did score, but the amount of chances Pedro Porro was, creating, it was exciting. Now, Deji Spence is also another one I do like the look of as well, but it's all depending when Udogie comes back, who's going to be, the starting fullbacks, really. Because I hope it is Spence, because I'd like to get him in my team. But Porro, there is a high chance he'll come into my team. At the minute, I've got 2 million in the bank. So if I bring in Pedro Porro for Van der Ven, that will bring me down to just 1 million left in the bank. So that is my biggest headache at the minute. Spurs' fixtures at the start of the season obviously got Burnley game week 1, but after that, Man City is not the easiest fixture going forward, and then they do have the likes of Bournemouth in game week 3. And that leaves my 2 bench options, and these will be my bench options going to the game week. And that's Alhaj Diouf. I love that name. I love it. He's called Alhaj Diouf. For West Ham, he's looked good in pre-season. He's looked good for West Ham. Will he start game week 1? I actually don't really know, if I'm being honest. But I like the look of him, so I've gone for him. Sunderland away, though, first game of the season, makes me want to start him as well, which is a bit of a headache for me. And I've got Timber in my team, 5.5 million. I wanted an Arsenal defender. It's quite expensive to have a 5.5 million defender on the bench. I could replace him, if I'm being honest, for a cheaper defender and I have more money in the bank and maybe invest in a bit more in my team, as you'll see later on. But yeah, I have got Timber in the team because I wanted an Arsenal defender. The only problem is, will he start? Will Ben White get his position back? I don't think so, but yeah, tough game for them game week 1, which is why I put him on the bench. But for sure, game week 2, if I still have him then, I will be starting him because he's got Leeds at home. Midfielders then. So a bit different, you could say, to other content creators. So it wasn't until last night where I actually decided to look what other content creators were actually going to be doing ahead of game week 1. And I laughed because I could not believe all of them pretty much have the same midfield. It's Salah, Palmer, Wirtz, it was the other two, Anderson and Fernandez. Everyone's got that 5-man midfield. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a good 5-man midfield. And you know what? I'll probably be getting that 5-man midfield in the next few weeks because it's smashed it and I'm doing horrible. But yeah, it just made me laugh that they've all got the same midfield pretty much. I mean, a couple of them might have 1 or 2 differences, but yeah, I just thought that funny. But yeah, I mean, Salah and Palmer, in my opinion, I mean, they've all got them. They are essential, let's face it, particularly Salah. He will be the captain for game week 1. The guy's an absolute machine. So yeah, he's essential. I feel like Palmer's almost essential. You know, he was quality during the summer, so I feel like you have to have him. Now the other 3 consist of Reinders, Drewsbury Hall, and Belieber. All very cheap midfielders as well. 5.5 mil for Reinders. He looked good in pre-season. He plays for Man City. You expect to do well. He looks excited, and that's why I've decided to bring him in. And, you know, he's got a few goals during the pre-season. So hopefully he kickstarts to the Premier League pretty well. Drewsbury Hall is a massive gamble, in my opinion, because I don't know if he's going to start. And he's got Leeds away, and I really want him to start against Leeds away. He's looked good in pre-season since he's joined Everton. I just hope David Moyes starts him. They've got rid of Decore, so I mean, I can't remember if Decore was starting week in, week out for Everton last season. I'm hoping he was, because if he is, then just a straight replacement there, in my opinion. But I did look at possibly, instead of getting him, getting Dyer, whatever his name is. He was a top goal scorer last season. He is a bit more expensive. And let's say I do bring Pedro Porro in for Van der Ven and leave me 1 million. I want that 1 million for something else a bit later, so I can't really change Shrewsbury Hall, who's only 5 million, to an Ndia, whatever his name is. And I'm pretty sure he was 6.5 million. So that is a headache for me that I've got. I could change that by the deadline later on today. But at the minute, Shrewsbury Hall is in my team. And he is actually starting as well. That's how much of a gamble I'm going because Leeds away. Now, Leeds, look, they're a big club. Everybody likes Leeds. Well, apart from teams that hate them. But I don't rate the manager, Daniel Farke. He's crap in the Premier League all the time. So that's why I want to be starting with Everton players in game week 1. And then Belieber as well on my bench. Could go to Man United, might not go to Man United. That is a bit of a headache for us as well. Would he be on the bench because of that? But either way, he's on my bench as well. I think he'll do well this season, only 5 million. But we don't know where he's going just yet. And again, this guy could change by the deadline for me. I'm not 100% on him, but at the moment, he is in my team. And that leads me on to my front 3 then. So I've got Pedro as my first striker. Looked phenomenal in pre-season, can't lie, particularly in the Club World Cup. Now, there are a lot of people going about how many goals he scored last season for Brighton, how majority of them were penalties. He could be a rotational risk as well for Chelsea, but at the moment, I think he's going to be their starting striker, if I'm being honest. He might, get replaced from time to time with Delap, and if that is the case, then I will have to take him out. But at the moment, with his form, the way Chelsea are looking right now, I just feel like I had to have him in my team. Barry's in there as well. This isn't a guaranteed one. I mean, I don't know if he will start. Beto could start. I'm hoping Barry does start. Like I said before, Drewsbury Hall, Leeds away is a great fixture for him to have. It's just a headache. That's why I'm not 100% certain. He is the cheapest striker out there I've got at the minute. I could drop to a 4.5. I think it is. I think he's 4.5 million striker, the ex-Chelsea guy. I think he's gone to Sunderland. But at the moment in time, I've got Barry up front, and then I've got Jared Bowen, who's definitely going to be starting for me in game week 1. He's got Sunderland away, but then after that, my plan will be to bring in Ollie Watkins, because Watkins' fixtures do look good. Providing, anyway, he stays at Aston Villa, because he could easily get sold by the end of the window, because there's been talk about that. But yeah, those would be my 3 strikers going into the game week. I'm not set on all 3 of them, like I just said, with Barry possibly changing, and Pedro can be a risk. But at the moment, Barry is probably the one that I'm not 100% sure of going into game week 1. So this is how the team does look then going into game week 1. Still got 2 million in the bank, like I said before. Van der Ven could come out for Pedro Porro, which gives me 1 million, which ideally I want to bring Watkins in. But I do have the issues. Dewsbury Hall, will he start? Barry, will he start? Where will Believer be? Could he come out? Timber, do I need him in my team as of this time? Or could he come out? Those are my biggest issues I've got. And Hermanson, could I just go for the Bracker and goal? I don't want to, if I'm being honest. Like I said, I just don't think I'd play him at all anyway. But yeah, that is how my team looks like going into game week 1. Let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know what you guys are doing going into game week 1. The Premier League is back tonight. I'm absolutely buzzing about that. And I'll soon regret it when my team is awful and Fernandez, Wirtz and Anderson will smash out tricks and I'm miles behind. But yeah, that is how my team is looking. And let me know what you guys are doing ahead of game week 1. Sorry again for the poor quality video. It was a last minute video because I've just enjoyed the summer too much and I've gone, oh crap, the season starts. I better get something sorted. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and I'll see you all on the next one.